What would you do if your home was robbed and a week later, your unemployed son shows up with a brand new sports car? For Claire, this strange and unsettling coincidence led to a discovery she never saw coming. Before we dive into this jaw-dropping story, make sure to subscribe to Stories Unfolded. We bring you tales that shock, inspire, and remind you of life's unpredictable twists. Let's get started. Claire had always prided herself on being a good mother. She had raised her two sons, Jack and Ethan, to value honesty, hard work, and integrity. Life hadn't been easy after her husband passed away 5 years ago, but Claire managed to keep her small family together. Her older son, Jack, was studying engineering in college, while Ethan, her youngest, had taken a year off to find himself. At 20, Ethan was smart, but lacked direction. He spent most of his days hanging out with friends, playing video games, and scrolling through social media. One evening, Claire came home to find the front door ajar. Her heart sank as she stepped inside and saw the chaos. Drawers pulled open, furniture overturned, and valuables missing. Her house had been robbed. The police arrived within an hour, taking her statement and cataloging the items that had been stolen. Claire listed the missing valuables: her late husband's watch, some jewelry, cash she had been saving for Jack's tuition, and a small box of sentimental keepsakes. "Do you have any enemies or people who might target you specifically?" the officer asked. Claire shook her head. "No, I can't think of anyone. We've always kept to ourselves." The officer nodded, handing her a case number. "We'll do our best, but I have to be honest. These cases are tough to solve. It might take some time." For days, Claire felt violated and uneasy in her own home. She double-checked the locks every night and jumped at the slightest sound. Her sons tried to comfort her, but the lingering fear didn't fade. Exactly a week after the robbery, Claire's unease turned to suspicion. She was sitting in the living room, still recovering from the stress of the break-in, when Ethan walked in with a smug grin on his face. "Mom, you've got to come outside," he said, practically bouncing with excitement. Claire followed him to the driveway, and her jaw dropped. Parked in front of the house was a brand new sports car, its sleek red paint gleaming in the sunlight. "Ethan, what is this?" she asked, her voice trembling. Ethan beamed. "It's mine. What do you think?" "Yours? Ethan, how could you afford this? You don't even have a job." He shrugged casually. "I got lucky, I guess." Claire's stomach churned. "Lucky how?" Ethan hesitated for a moment before saying, "A friend lent me the money. I'll pay him back later." But Claire wasn't convinced. The timing was too suspicious. A week ago, her house had been robbed. Now, her unemployed son was flaunting a car worth more than anything they'd ever owned. That night, Claire couldn't sleep. Her mind raced with questions. Where had Ethan really gotten the money? Was he hiding something? Could he have had anything to do with the robbery? The thought made her feel sick, but she couldn't ignore it. The next morning, she decided to confront him. She found Ethan in the kitchen, pouring cereal into a bowl. "Ethan, we need to talk," she said firmly. He looked up, his expression cautious. "What's up?" "It's about the car," Claire said. "I need to know the truth. Where did you get the money for it?" Ethan rolled his eyes. "I already told you, Mom. A friend helped me out." Claire folded her arms. "Which friend? And why would they lend you so much money?" Ethan avoided her gaze. "It's none of your business." Her patience snapped. It is my business. A week ago, our house was robbed, and now you suddenly have a car you can't afford. Do you have any idea how suspicious that looks?" Ethan's face darkened. Are you seriously accusing me of something? I'm asking you to explain, Claire said, her voice softening. Please, Ethan. I just want to understand. But Ethan stormed out of the room without another word, slamming the door behind him. Determined to get to the bottom of things, Claire decided to investigate on her own. She started by searching Ethan's room while he was out. She hated invading his privacy, but her instincts told her she couldn't ignore this. As she sifted through his drawers, she found a crumpled receipt from a pawn shop downtown. Her heart sank as she read the item descriptions: gold bracelet, diamond earrings, men's luxury watch. Tears filled her eyes. Those were her stolen items. Claire drove to the pawn shop, clutching the receipt in her trembling hands. When she arrived, she showed it to the clerk and explained the situation. Those items were stolen from my house, she said. Do you still have them? The clerk hesitated. I remember these. The guy who sold them was about your son's age. Claire's heart broke. Do you have his name? The clerk shook his head. Sorry, but we don't take down personal info for small transactions. I wish I could help more. Defeated, Claire returned home, unsure of what to do next. That evening, Claire confronted Ethan with the receipt. I went to the pawn shop, she said, her voice trembling. They told me you sold my stolen jewelry there. How could you do this to me? Ethan's face turned pale. He opened his mouth to deny it, but then closed it, his shoulders slumping. Fine, he muttered. I did it. Are you happy now? Claire's chest tightened. Why, Ethan? Why would you do this to your own family? Tears welled up in his eyes. I was desperate, okay? I owe some guys money. Bad guys. If I didn't pay them back, they were going to come after me. I didn't know what else to do. Claire felt a mix of anger and sorrow. You should have come to me. I would have helped you. I couldn't, Ethan shouted. I was scared, Mom. I didn't want you to think I was a failure. Despite her anger, Claire couldn't ignore the fear and regret in her son's eyes. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. Ethan, what you did was wrong, she said gently. But you're not a failure. You made a mistake and we'll figure this out together. I'll help you pay off your debts, but you have to promise me something. Ethan looked at her warily. What? Promise me you'll take responsibility for what you've done. You need to apologize to your brother, return the car, and work to earn back the money you stole. Ethan nodded, tears streaming down his face. I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to hurt you. In the weeks that followed, Ethan returned the car and worked with Claire to recover the stolen items. He took on a part-time job to repay his debts and began attending therapy to address the poor decisions that had led him down the wrong path. Claire, though heartbroken by his actions, chose to support him through the process. She saw glimpses of the boy she had raised, the one with a kind heart and a bright mind, and hoped this experience would guide him toward a better future. Their journey wasn't easy, but it strengthened their bond in ways Claire hadn't expected. This story reminds us that even in moments of betrayal and heartbreak, love and understanding can pave the way for redemption. Mistakes don't define us. How we choose to move forward does. If this story moved you, please like and share it with someone who might need a little inspiration today. Don't forget to subscribe to Stories Unfolded for more incredible tales of love, resilience, and life's unexpected lessons. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.